talking of turning things around, that's what Manchester United are hoping their interim manager will do. Looks like it's going to be Ralf Rangnick, but the deal's not been done just yet. But Paul Merson, why do they need an interim manager?
Because they don't know what they're doing at the moment. In my opinion, I think Ollie would have been at the club still today if it probably wasn't for 2 goals in the last minute against Watford. And I don't think there was any plan. I just didn't think they thought up in their wildest dreams that it was going to end up at Watford. I think at 2-1, I personally think he's still in charge come what Sunday. I really do. I think they were going to keep it as long as they could. Now they haven't. I mean, for me, to bring in a manager... And I know I'm hearing great words. I'm hearing people going, how great he is, how great... He's never managed in England. Never managed one of the top teams in the world. You know, why is that? You know, that's what I want to know. Why is no one else coming for him when managers have been up, you know? And that's what I always look at. You know, I hear great things about him. He's saying he's going to press and he's hard work and he's turned lesser teams into real contenders. That's a lot different. That's a lot different getting a Schalke or a Hoffenheim, someone like that, and getting them to a certain stage. When you're asked to go to one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they've already got superstars already, and you've got to make them play. It's all right at Schalke and Hoffenheim because they're going to listen and they want to get there. These players are there, and you've got to get them to go again. I think this is going to be difficult. I think this is going to be a lot harder than what people think. You know, what I'm hearing, it's like a give me. It's like, he'll come in and that'll be it. Arsenal, Man United are lucky. I ain't sure about that. You know, you don't start getting beat. You know, forget... Man City was embarrassing. Liverpool was bad, but it wasn't as bad as Man City. And then Watford was an absolute joke. So, you know, at the end of the day, we can all go, oh, Solskjaer, but... It's the players who cross the line. They've got to turn up and play the game, Jeff. It don't matter who's... You could have Pep Guardiola on the bench sitting next to Arsene Wenger, Klopp and Tuchel. If the players ain't running around, it don't matter what you're doing on the bench.
There's a theory, isn't there, that, you know, I mean, we know he likes this pressing game, plays a similar style to Mauricio Pochettino, that he's just sort of keeping the seat warm. But what happens, Clinton? What happens if it is Rangnick who takes over? What if he gets them into the top 4? What if he goes and wins the Champions League? Where does that leave Mauricio Pochettino and Manchester United?
That's what they did with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the interim manager. He got good results and then they kept him. Listen, his whole tenure wasn't that bad, Ole. There was positive signs in that, and obviously the time had come to move on. Ralf Rangnick is meant to be really tactically good on the training pitch, pressing from the front and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting.
How can you press from the front?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So this is...
With
let me finish
Ronaldo
it.
in the team.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's going to be interesting because you said it many times about it, with Ronaldo, is he going to press from the front and can he do it? Well, now will be the test because I know this manager, I don't know him but obviously going to look and seeing what he's done, he's all about pressing and working hard from the front. So it'll be he's got a big call then. Is Ronaldo going to start doing that pressing from the front? Listen, we all know Cristiano Ronaldo scores goals, one of the best players, scoring 799 goals. Fantastic. But Man United have to start pressing from the front. This guy wants to do it because if you look at Man United, they're pressing as individuals at the moment. I think it's a huge job for him to come in and turn it around. An interim manager, so that's 6... So he'll come in for a few months and then I bet they keep him. He'll go upstairs as sporting director because he's done that job many a times. And then can they get Pochettino? What if Pochettino goes and wins the Champions League with PSG? Me and Merson talk about it before, and he wins the league. Is he going to then come to Man United? Man United is a big job. Now's the time. If he's going to come, he should come now.
But if Pochettino doesn't win the Champions League... Man United fans are going to be asking that question.
Why
do
not?
we want Pochettino?
Because that squad of players he's got at PSG.
A squad of players at PSG, like some of the best in the world, and you haven't won the Champions League. And if you do win the Champions League and PSG do it for the first time ever, then if you're PSG, you want to keep him there to dominate Champions League football for the next 4
years.
Well,
that's what they want, isn't it, PSG? Yeah, they're going to win the league. It's all about the Champions League. But if they do win it, he's just going to go, oh, yeah, you can go to Manchester United. I'm not so sure. What's coming out this week, he wants to come, it seems like, Pochettino. I know his press conference before the Man City game, he's saying his focus, of course, is because he knows it's not going to happen. Manchester United obviously think it's going to happen. An interim manager. This is Manchester United.
What do you expect the players' attitude will be towards an interim manager, Darren? I mean, they know he's not going to be there, not in charge of the team as such, you know, in 6 months' time.
I mean, the players, they're probably thinking, and they probably can't come out and say it, but they're probably thinking as well, what is going on? Because, obviously, Michael Carrick's in charge, and that one was one that I never quite understood, because this is the guy that's been sitting next to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer while these bad results have been happening. And the fact that he's still there and Ole went, that surprised me. But the players have just got to now look after their own individual performances. Obviously, again, it's still Michael Carrick in charge. If Rangnick comes in, I'm sure maybe one or two of the players will know him. I mean, the likes of someone like a Jadon Sancho, for instance, I could see him getting the best out of him. Obviously, German football, Jadon at Dortmund pressed quite intently, knows his best position. So that might work on some of the players, but I don't think if they can get a manager now, you've got to do it. You can't keep trying to just pinch an inch here and there. You need to go. If you can get Pochettino now, go and do it. If I'm Pochettino, I'm not coming now. I'm trying to see this season out of PSG, win the league, because one thing that's always labelled at Pochettino is that he hasn't won anything. So that's probably why I'd stay there, win the league, try him in the Champions League. If that doesn't happen, then at the end of the season, then I'll go to Manchester United. But the fact that they've got an interim now and Ralf Rangnick, and it might be him, it might be somebody else, it almost leaves Manchester United in a little bit of an embarrassing situation, because they are the biggest club in the world. They should be able to go out and get whoever they want, regardless of whether it's a manager in a job or not. They should be able to go and get someone, and the fact they can't and they're still scratching around, it's a little bit poor.
And the one they missed out on, who they should have gone and got, and he was waiting, was Conte.
Yeah.
He was waiting. So he should have made that decision earlier with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
They didn't want to do it with Ole.
They didn't want to do it with Ole. Yeah, you can see they didn't want to get rid of Ole. They didn't. And Mercy's right. The only reason they got rid of him is because they lost 4-1, and it kind of forced their hand, because everyone's talking about it, sitting back, talking about it. They didn't want to get rid of him. If it was 2-1, Ole would have still been in the job. And listen, we never like to see managers lose their job, but I think if they'd done it earlier, Conte would have been the perfect fit for Man United.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it's worth saying that Rangnick, as people have referred, he does have a phenomenal reputation. And just before we move on, one thing I would say is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we all know he's a good guy. I thought his dignity, dignity afterwards was just fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was a real credit to himself.